Hey everybody, Kane here, and welcome to another video of Call of Dragons. So, in this one, we have an elite giant behemoth. So, this is the second boss in this game that you are able to beat and pass. And this boss is I guess you could call it somewhat easy. It kind of depends on what kind of players you have in your alliance and whether or not you're able to, at the very least, get some synergy, some I guess a team play out of them. Because this is, after all, a mobile game, and getting many people on, say, Discord and voice chat is a little bit hard, but we're kind of trying to work that out at the moment. So there were about maybe 10-ish people, I think, on Discord out of 40. So we're kind of working it out. So aside from that, this boss tends to have a few type of effects that would make it sort of rough. So we have a clump of a DPS on one side, another clump of DPS on another side. We have a tank tanking the boss. We have two tanks on the sidelines, and we have one person with a huge amount of army that usually tends to be eaten as like a second or third person. So we had to split him off for the boss not to make it so it would be a lot harder for one DPS side to do damage. Now, what happened here was our main tank was eaten because of an ability of the boss, and we have to do a DPS check and beat this entire bar with 5 seconds minimum left to spare in here. If it goes beyond 5 seconds, the tank dies instantly. Even though it should not, for some reason the tank still dies. So what happened was we beat it. The tank is alive, and of course the other two tanks just go into a corner once more, and we continue DPSing the boss. Pretty much, it might seem pretty self-explanatory and easy, but there is a thing. So the further it goes, I do believe it gets a little bit more messy because we have to take care of ads, and then, sometimes you push the screen a little bit to the left or the side. The thing is, the game for me, it kind of, brings back that MMORPG feel from long ago when you were raiding with buddies. However, that kind of, stuff happens, or you get a little bit more of that feeling whenever you have a lot of people on voice chat and Discord. So, aside from that, we did clear the ads. Some crystals spawn. These crystals are able to heal quite a lot, at some points like 50%. And now the boss has eaten our tank once again. So what happened was, these tanks did not taunt the boss. They were just standing in one place. Now, this was not planned. So what happened was, that made us succeed a little bit, is that the boss was free hitting one of our main DPS and the person with the highest army. And what happened at that time was, this person got knocked, I think maybe 5,000, maybe 10,000 troops more from what he had. And because of that simple thing, the boss likely is going to eat our main tank once more. And because of that, this whole fight and this whole giant became very, very easy. The worst part about it is that if the tank does not dodge, say, the boss AoE, like for example some of the tanks now, I think some of them should be hit. Oh no, they weren't. So if they don't, the boss will then focus the person with the highest unit count. Like for example, this person got hit, so less likely that this person will be focused by the boss. Could be that also this hit kind of made it so that this person would not get eaten. So we have 3 ads now instead of 2. Unfortunately, like, one side has to take care of 2, but that is how it is. We put a little bit stronger DPS on this side, and as you can see, the other side was a little bit slower. So Aside from that, this is another area type damage of the boss, but pretty simple. We just try to keep the boss in the center with multiple tanks, and of course, we have the DPS on the corners. Now, even then, we have our tank below 50. Now, that is a very dangerous position because he lost probably over 50,000 units, and the boss has eaten one of our DPS, but that DPS was not very far into our clump. So, what happened was the bottom left DPS squad did not have to walk too far. And because of that, we were able to still complete the DPS check. Even though it was very, very close, even though some people still got hit, we managed to do the DPS check anyway. Which, mind you, we failed, I think, 3 or 4 times before that. And then, of course, we managed to do the Elite Giant. So, our guild, our Moontree guild on this server didn't do the Elite Bear. I think it was the first or the second attempt. I'm not sure. Just as the bear spawned. And this one, we have to keep it a little bit further away because I don't think we even had a lot of people to just start it. So, aside from that, we got the border as well. I do believe, yeah. So this border, oh damn. So this border, let me just pause it for a second. Looks ugly as hell. You see it? I mean, it is kind of ugly, but it's a free border for only the people who kind of participated. So we didn't mention that on the world chat, and then we went to do another boss. Now, there are a lot more bosses and a lot more difficult bosses. So, what you see in this one is just pretty simple. Like the previous boss, if you get hit by a boss's charge, you don't dodge out of the way, the boss starts hitting like a truck. Or even, I think we wiped like 3 times on the bear, maybe? Now I kind of forgot, but yeah, likely it wasn't even our second attempt. So the bosses do tend to have some interesting mechanics, and because the map is just so big, there is not even any PvP. And any guild we come close to usually doesn't even want to mess with us or PvP. They just either disband or remove their towers. They don't even want to fight. So the bosses are kind of a thing at the moment that kind of keep us entertained. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. But from, I guess, the next few days, maybe later on in the week, I will start talking a little bit of mechanics, what you should do, maybe some tips here and there for people to learn to improve. So I know that I think our guild is the only one that was able to do it. So I'm not sure about other servers, but I guess they can use something like this to perhaps maybe do it themselves as well. So you have to make sure that you have the second highest troop count, which can sometimes be within range, somewhere apart from the clumps and in a range where I guess the people would not require to walk very far. So in this case, like this mage right here, he was in a place where both of the clumps would still be hitting the boss while not being stunned over and over. But it kind of happens that we had another one and he wasn't too far into the clump, so we still kind of succeeded. But yeah, other than that, honestly, this game is pretty fun. I kind of like the guild aspect. I kind of like the unit, the army, the legion aspect, the caps of say, I guess the amount of troops rather that any legion can contain. Because even high spender essentially is not entirely immortal in this game, as like many other games, at the very least for now. So because of that, it is kind of fun and interesting. I mean, in the very beginning it might be immortal, but as the game goes on, you kind of notice that even the spenders would be able to be beaten. So that is why this game is kind of awesome. And honestly, there is not that many paywalls in this particular game. So, as well as on that topic, we're gonna talk a little bit about it in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you enjoyed it. If you did, you hit that subscribe button, it would help me out a lot. Take care and stay safe out there.